Hello, everybody. Reality is where words to come to life. Listen to me. We are living in troubled times. And as much as a lot of us don't want to believe the times that is wreaking havoc across this land and country, it is doing just that. We have a delusional individual who is sitting in a seat that he should not be sitting in with 34 felonies. We have people incarcerated that are locked up for selling loose cigarettes, and yet and still we saw it fit to place individual who's not smarter than a fifth grader in the seat and wear the title as president, and now he's wearing the title as the worst president in the world, right? Here we go. SNAP benefits cut off. Unemployment for those who need it is cut off. Children, parents with children who has autism, they're trying to force them to register their kids. Sad. Knocking down of women, terrorizing children, disregarding pregnant women, instilling laws that are disrespectful to women, instilling laws that's disrespectful to women's body, using our military that's not supposed to be used against residents of the United States, bailing out countries with $20 billion, but you let this country suffer. We got people in position that are aliens. They're aliens themselves. Kristi Noem, Mark Rubio, J.D. Vance's wife, Kash Patel. They're not United States citizens. So we're living in an age where you say this and then you do that. We're living in an age where this is wrong for this racially group of people, but it's right because, we can't declare them aliens because they're in a position to kiss my butt. How does that work? How does it work? How do we get to this place? And I'm not saying Democratic Party is, free from taking any blame, because they're not. My problem with everything that's going on right now is that the loopholes should have been closed so nobody can slide in between the gaps. My problem is the Supreme Court, who is supposed to be an institution for justice and fairness and transparency. But instead, most of these people got their lips tooted to a orange man who is delusional, who has dementia, who has everything wrong with him, heart failure, and ain't no telling what else is wrong with him. But nobody wants to acknowledge it. Y'all want to talk about Sleepy Joe, but the problem is the man who is named Trump, because I refuse to call his name. I refuse to. The other problem is when we use the word of God to justify the actions that's happening. And nothing that's being done is lined up with Christianity whatsoever, because God is a God of love. Right? There is no racism. There's no discrimination. There is no ruler. There's no controller. And it takes me back to the Bible when Pharaoh held the children of Israel captive, right? Did everything that he could not to release these people. And then God sent a messenger to tell Pharaoh to let his people go. But Pharaoh's heart was hardened and he refused to do that. So God allowed a bunch of plagues to hit the land, right? Took his firstborn, all this stuff. And then because his heart was so hardened and he thought he was better than God, guess what? He let the children of Israel walk out. The plague was so devastating, he told them, you all can go, right? And when they got going, he decided he wanted to change his mind. And then send the troops to follow after them. But they got across, and then the troops got swallowed up in the water. Don't that story sound familiar? Because it's familiar to me. See, y'all president is a pharaoh. He's a pharaoh. We didn't have planes fall from the sky. We didn't have fires. We didn't have sicknesses. We didn't have everything to go wrong. And he still refused to do what's right because his heart is hardened. And eventually, He's going to get swallowed up. You know it's bad when your elected officials, his administration, is living on military bases. You know it's bad. If you all are that smart, you all that great, and you are doing things in the right direction and for the right reason, there is no need for you to hide. Anytime anybody has to hide, put a mask on their face, hide behind military or whatever it may be, you know they are crooked than a crooked line. And when people like to point their fingers to somebody else to make it seem like it's them and not who the actual people are, because y'all can control the Senate, the House, and the dark house, because we can't call Pennsylvania Avenue the White House because it is full of satanic, demonic things up in there. So we can't say that. So it now has become the dark house with a cloud covering it. Now, there is a ballroom that's being built for $200 million, and people are going hungry. And he's in Mar-a-Lago celebrating with his ugly orange self. And you have terrorized people in this country. You have turned this country into a place that is worse than a graveyard. It's worse than a graveyard. It's gloomier than a graveyard. It smells worse than what they call them places where they dump the trash. It smells worse than that. And it stinks across city to city and state to state, especially those cities and states that have Republican officials. And nobody has the balls or the courage to stand up. Now, y'all forgot that you work for the people. It's not the other way around. And I'm going to say this, and I mean everything that I say. Democrats, get off your butts. Don't depend on your Jasmine Crockett, your, Mexican, the Latino lady, Cortez, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, your Hakeem Jeffries. Y'all all need to come up. Your Ilana Presley. Don't do that. All of y'all need to stand up and speak your voice, right? Because what we're dealing with is ridiculous. It is totally ridiculous. But what y'all gonna need to do, stay firm. Stick to what's right and not deviate or not sell us out or whatever. And every elected official, we need to understand, you are not our voice. We are the voice that you represent. And that's what you're supposed to have been doing. But you have done such a piss poor job in that. So I say this as I close this conversation. Once everything is flipped and once everything go back to normal, I say go in their bank accounts, dip in their investments, hit their retirement fund, pull their security, pull their medical, everything they cause us to suffer through. And this shutdown, and for the duration of that fool living on Pennsylvania Avenue, y'all need to take all the money back and stop taking the bill that they created and the price that they created and tackling it to the American people. Put it back on the people who allowed it. If it's Supreme Court judges, put it back on them. If it's Republican mayors, congressmen, senator, state reps, governors, put it back, go in their accounts. They created the debt. Go in there and take that money and put it back. Fine them $20 billion amongst every Republican that says yes to the nonsense, and go and get that money and put it back where it belongs. That's where I'm at. Now, I don't know where you at, but that's where I'm at. See, because I'm on the list of 350,000 black women being out of a job. I'm on the list of not having any income, not because I'm not capable of holding a job, not because I don't want to hold a job, because your government don't want to put black women in a position to be self-sustainable. And that's the dumbest shit in life. That's all I'm saying. And I hope y'all get y'all asses off the beach. Get out the tanning spas. Take them locks out your hair. Pull your pants up on your ass. Stop sweating up your lips and your nose and your breasts and your butt. You don't like us, so stay out our avenue of culture. Stay out. Get your own crap. Stand in your own lane. Do your own thing. You hear what I'm saying? And I mean every word of that. I'm just saying.